name's Quinton Eriyya. I am of Nigerian and Jamaican descent. My dad's Nigerian, my mother is Jamaican, and I'm a professional bodybuilder. Well, I started competing at 20, but I actually started training when I was around 7. I was 17 when I started training, and I was 18 when I decided, you know what, I like gaining muscle. I'm gonna keep on doing this. The reasons were very vain. I think I just wanted to build confidence, wanted girls to like how I looked, kind of thing. I just wanted a little bit of biceps, and I wanted like a nice set of abs. And I was always an athlete growing up, so I would do different types of exercises. So I was always in like pretty good shape. So around 17, the basketball season ended. So I was no longer staying active, so I had to do something, and I decided to just try out lifting weights. And I just kept training, and then eventually I'm like, you know what? I want big shoulders too. I want some diced quadriceps as well. So the goal just continued to transform as I continued to grow, and eventually I became what I am now. Being in a sport like this, where we're very open with what we do, there's a lot of judgment that comes with it, and I guess that's the frustrating part. A lot of people don't understand. They just think that they see muscles and they're like, oh, steroids. So that's something that, I mean, it's not that frustrating. It just shows that people, it's actually kind of a compliment. It shows that people think that what you are able to accomplish is at a level that's just so out of reach. It's so hard to attain. It's almost impossible to attain in their minds, so that you need something that's gonna get you there. It goes back to that thing with the outsiders that don't really understand bodybuilding. They see the gains, they see what you're able to accomplish, and it's like, oh, steroids. It's like, oh, genetics. It's just a way that people kind of debunk, like, the level of success or the level of progress that you've been able to achieve. Again, it does play a role. So there's like I understand where they're coming from at the same time, just to play devil's advocate. But man, like I stopped like partying, I stopped drinking like a long time ago. Like even when I was natural, I was getting those accusations, so I was already dealing with it, right? So at the end of the day, like the treatment that I've gotten from people that don't really get it hasn't changed since then till now. When you're in the spotlight, there's nothing you can do to avoid the negativity. When you excel, there's still going to be some level of negativity. When you don't do what you were supposed to do, there's going to be some level of negativity. But I think it just comes down to bodybuilding is a very subjective sport. Like we have an idea in terms of the criteria of who will be the best on the day of the show, of who we all think the winner is. But at the same time, it's still subjective. You can have somebody with a very pretty aesthetic physique in condition and a bigger guy with a more blocky but freaky conditioned physique. And if they're both very good on the day, like who do you pick, right? So it's very subjective. So what I believe is the same way that we give it to the judges to judge us, to choose where they would place us, if people want to have their own opinions, just let them. There's like this fake anger, this artificial anger. I call it fake because I'm not an angry person, but when I come into the gym sometimes, especially on prep, because everybody wants to talk to you, ask you how you're feeling about the show, but these are the moments like before the workout where I don't want to talk because I'm trying to invest all the energy that I have into my training. So I would just come into the gym, put my headphones in, and just keep my head down, and I'm just like, thinking about the workout. I've released every other thought that I could possibly think of, and I'm only thinking about the workout. So that's something that I still do even though my prep is done. And I just try and As soon as I get into the gym, do a little bit of stretching, quick dynamic warm up, and then boom, I'm right into it. And I try not to leave that zone. You know, my recent showing at the New York Pro, I wasn't happy with what I brought, but you know, it's just a small battle in a big war. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that bodybuilding, although at times there's a time to sprint at times, for the most part it's a marathon. You know, and I think that I'm young, I'm still very new to this.
You're 25, right?
Yeah, I'm 25. I think that I've been improving at a pretty good rate, and I believe that I'm going to be the best in the world. Oh man, I have no doubt in my mind that I'll be Mr. Olympia.